What's good, family? Welcome to my channel. I am Chief Drano. Today is the 22nd of November, 2019. Happy Friday. It is Friday here. After hours, I have finished work. I'm home. I am chillaxing. Okay. My weekend has begun. All right. So I want to welcome you to my channel. I am Chief Drano. If you're new, please subscribe. Okay, my channel is all about Pan-Africanism. Okay, global unification of everyone of African descent. Okay, wherever you find yourself, this is what I do. Okay, I promote unity. Okay, amongst everyone of African descent. Okay, if you recognize that Africa is your motherland. Okay, it is. Okay, and you need to claim it. You need to claim it. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this stream too long, but I'm gonna invite you guys to come on. Okay, so I'm gonna put in my email address in the chat. Let's see. Come on. Chiefdrano at hotmail.com. Okay. So yeah, that's my email address. Okay. So if you come in and you want to jump on, feel free to say hi to Chief. Okay. I don't bite. All right. So yeah, like I said, I'm here to promote unity. Okay, amongst everyone of African descent. All right. So this is what I do. Let's check this out. Okay, amongst everyone of African. All right. So the sound is good. I am going to I'm going to share. Okay, I'm going to share the stream, and then I'll invite a few guys in. Okay, I know some of you guys might be busy, so I'm going to invite you guys to jump on. All right, and join the conversation. Let's see. So yeah, there is nobody here at the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna spend the time to invite some few guys to come on, let them know that I'm on. Right. All right. So I have sent out my invitations. Okay. Let me see. There's one more person I want to invite. All right, so I've got two people watching, so let me know who you are. Okay, thank you for joining the stream. I am Chief Drino, your favorite Chief Drino. It's Friday the 22nd. Happy Friday. My weekend has begun. Okay, so I'm just relaxing. Okay, going through news articles. I'm very concerned about Africa. Okay, Pan-Africanism, global unification of everyone of African descent. Okay, this is what I do. All right, this is what I do. Our channel is growing, so yeah, it's gonna get big very soon. So yeah, I'm patient. I'm putting in the work, and it's gonna be fruitful. All right. So yeah, my target was 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So still have 1 month to go. So we'll see how we go. I'll just keep on pushing, I suppose. So yeah. Yeah, so as I was perusing the the internet, okay, the news, I came across several articles that I wanted to share with you. But I'm more concerned about Africa, so I'm going to talk about Africa as well. But concerning this, okay, concerning the topic for tonight, okay, Julia Roberts. Well, did you know that Juliet Roberts was to play Harriet Tubman? Okay, I mean it's no surprise. It's no surprise there. White actors have always played every role, okay, in the world, okay, and they're entitled to play it. Okay, they are entitled to play it because they own the media. It's their platform. They own the avenue to put out these images. Okay, so these images, okay, belong to them. Okay, because they have the right to it. All right. Black people or people of African descent, okay, do not own anything of that sort. So we do not control whatever image is out there or whatever image they decide to put out. All right. So a few months ago, when it was announced that this Nigerian actor by the name Cynthia Erivo was going to play Harriet Tubman, okay, African Americans went crazy. Okay, hashtag not my Harriet. They opposed it. They didn't like her. Fair enough. She tweeted a few things, a few bad things about African Americans, and we all have them. Okay, they're stereotypes. Okay, African Americans, okay, have their stereotypes against Africans, and Africans have theirs, in vice versa. Okay, it's nothing new. Okay, but it becomes foolish. Okay, very, very foolish when we perpetuate our own demise and division. Okay, over things that we do not control. What's trending with Kay Sibo? Thank you for joining this the stream, family. Kay, thank you for joining. Is it Kay? Kay? How do you pronounce your name? Casey, sorry. Casey, isn't it? Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, so Africans and African Americans do not own any major infrastructure. We do not. What's good, Mr. Niger boy? The Niger boy. Thank you for joining the stream, Mr. McJolly. All right, don't laugh at me the way I pronounce your name. Yeah, how's it going? How's the weather? Right. Yesterday, right, we had the most bizarre weather here in Melbourne. It was very hot. That's why I didn't even do any stream, because I was so drained. Okay, I was heat exhausted. It was so hot. It was 42 degrees. Okay, and much of the day it was 42 degrees, and towards to about 5 p.m. the weather just suddenly changed. Okay, drastically. So in less than an hour, the weather changed from 40 degrees to 15 degrees. Okay, drastically in an hour. So it was just so crazy. And this is how crazy the weather can be here in Melbourne. And it carried a lot of dust from the desert, and my car was covered in red dust as if I had driven through the desert. So it was a little bit bizarre. So I was just drained, so I didn't do any stream yesterday. But I was going to talk about this yesterday, but yeah, we live to fight another day. So I'm going to talk about it today. So yeah, coming back to this, right? We Africans or people of African descent do not control anything of major, significance. We do not control the narrative. Okay, the victor, okay, always tells the story. Okay, the victim has no right to history or his story. Okay, it's the victor that controls the narrative, and this is what we're seeing here. Okay, African people of African descent, or black people, we've been conquered. Okay, it's sad to say it, but we've been conquered, and not until we realize that we've been conquered and we need to get out of that, okay, paradigm, okay, we will be stuck at the bottom, and the world will go past us. Okay, here Hollywood is putting out images, okay, which were meant to be representing people of African descent, right? But it's not. You have Europeans playing Egyptian gods, Egyptian kings, African characters. You have Hollywood controlling all this aspect of imagery. The importance of imagery. Okay. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Or you have Anna Agudana. Thank you for joining the stream. You have Nollywood. Yeah, you have Nollywood, but guess what? Nollywood will sell to Hollywood any day. What was this Canal France just bought? What's that TV station called? Is it Rock TV in Nigeria? I mean, Nollywood is only within Africa, but we need to promote our own story, and this is what Nollywood is doing, and it's great. It's great, but they will sell. They'll sell. They'll sell to the Europeans. Okay, they'll sell. But when we're talking about the global narrative or the movie industry on a global level, we know Hollywood controls that aspect. Okay, the power of imagery has shaped the world. For even majority of people in the world believing that Jesus is white and stuff like that. Believing in a white savior complex and all that. Okay, it's all in the power of imagery. We do not control any of those things. Okay, so African Americans raving about or upset about Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman. Okay, it just makes me laugh. Okay, so much that there was a hashtag not my Harriet. A lot of them want to boycott the movie, but dude, Avengers Endgame was produced by Hollywood, but you did not boycott that. You went to see it. Black Panther was produced by Hollywood. They chose their characters, but you went to see it, right? But when you have a black person playing Harriet Tubman, you want to distinguish whether the black person is American or not. Okay. But at the end of the day, you do not control the platform for producing these images. Anyway, Niger Boy, Nollywood is not a sellout, but I said they will sell out. They will sell out. Okay, if Hollywood comes to buy it, they will sell out. Definitely, they will sell out. But anyway, so I found this article very, very interesting. That okay, in the midst of African Americans, having a beef with Africans about who should play Harriet Tubman, and mind you, a lot of African Americans have played a lot of African characters. Like I think Stephen Biko was played by what's his name now, Denzel Washington. Okay, what is this movie? The movie on the dictator. I think Idi Amin was played by Forrest Whitaker. So on and so forth. Okay, I think Nelson Mandela was played by who played Nelson Mandela? I can't remember. Is it Will Smith? No, it's not Will Smith. I'm not too sure, but a lot of African Americans have played African characters. Okay, Chadwick Boseman has played Egyptian god of wisdom. What's the name? Thought. I mean, there was no outcry, but why is the African American having a beef with the African playing Harriet Tubman so much that they want to boycott it? I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, but because it was not released here in Australia, but when it comes out on DVD or Netflix, I'm definitely going to see it because I love movies. Okay, I love movies. I dissect movies. I analyze movies. So it's not like I'm not watching it for the characters playing it per se. I'm watching it for the content. Okay, and I'm going to analyze it and dissect it, the message in there. I mean, it's storytelling. So people can replace the characters with whatever they wish. Okay, and it's all about selling as well. You're selling the movie to an audience that are willing to pay money. So you have majority of moviegoers are white. They pay the most money. So it's for a movie producer, you want to cast white characters to attract more white audience. So this is what it is. It's all capitalism and money making. All right. They don't care about your sentiments. They don't care about that. So I mean, it's just so funny when this article came yesterday that Julia Roberts, pretty woman, the lady from Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts, was gonna play bloody was gonna play Harriet Tubman. I was just laughing. What are African Americans gonna do now? Like, you're bashing someone that looks exactly like you for playing a role. Now you're gonna have a white person play Harriet Tubman with blackface on. What are you gonna do then? Well, you can't do anything because you do not own Hollywood. You do not own it. Anyway, Panther Assad, thanks for joining the stream. I'm African American. I don't care. It's a black actress is playing a black historical figure. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. As long as it's a black character playing a black historical figure, that's what we need to support. Okay, but when you have all these ADOS movement, the anti-African movement, and boiling over into this Harriet Tubman situation and stuff like that, and then news breaks out that Julia Roberts was meant to play Harriet Tubman. I mean, it just makes us black people look very, very foolish, very stupid. Okay, I can't put a word on it. It's silly. We are fighting over the wrong issues. We are fighting over the wrong things. Right? We're fighting over the wrong things. We're just one. We're one people. Okay, one people. We just divided on cultural grounds, but underneath that, we're all one. Okay, and this is what white supremacy understands, to keep us divided. And once in a while, they throw in these sort of articles to make us look very, very foolish. Very foolish. Very foolish. Anyway, so I'm going to read the article. I'm going to put proper context to this without me going on too many tangents. But I mean, this is comical. Okay, this is very, very silly. Yeah, well, so if it's kind of like we dodge, as black people, we dodge the bullet here. Who is this? Where is Scarlett Johansson when I needed her? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Australian actress, isn't it? Yeah. So I mean, anyway, so I'll go into the article, and yeah, my email is in the chat. Okay, scroll up, you see me. Okay, chiefdrino@hotmail.com. Okay, send me an email if you want to hop on, and we can have a good conversation tonight. I've got time, so yeah, it's Friday night, baby. So yeah, my thing is, okay, we do not control anything as the people, so we have no say. Okay, history is always determined by the conqueror, the victor. Okay, the victor tells history the way he sees it fit. The victim has no right to victory or to history. Okay, so not until you are able to take charge, okay, take control and control your own narrative, everybody is, or anybody can tell your narrative. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so black people people of African descent, we need to recognize power, and we need to claim power. Okay, and take it upon ourselves to control our own narratives. All right, so without much ado, I'm going to go into these articles. Okay, let me share this. All right, so so this is an article from I think Washington, The Guardian. Okay, said that gee whiz. Okay, when was this set? 21st. Today's the 22nd, so 21st. Thursday, the 21st, so that yesterday. Okay, so we escaped Julia Roberts playing Harriet Tubman, but whitewashing lives on. Yomi Adegoke. Okay, so this person sounds Nigerian. Okay, Mr. Niger boy, let me know if this person is Nigerian. Okay, there she is. Okay, behind closed doors, roles meant for ethnic minority actors are being rewritten as white. Okay, so yeah, like we have was it Tom Hanks playing Forrest Gump? I mean, we do not control anything. We do not control it. White people are in Hollywood. They want to sell these movies out, okay, primarily to white audience because they know they've got the money to fund the movie. Black people don't have the money to fund the movies. So yeah, I mean, come on. So here we have in your on the screen there is the Nigerian actress Cynthia Erivo, okay, playing Harriet Tubman, okay. It's a headline that reads as if it were ripped from a Saturday Night Live skit. Julia Roberts was once the favorite to play the legendary African-American 19th century abolitionist Harriet Tubman. The revelation came from Gregory Allen Howard, the screenwriter and producer of the recently released film Harriet, in a Q&A earlier this month. So, I mean, he was bold to throw it out there, you know, African Americans. There you go. You do not control your narrative, so anybody can do that. Okay, so you're even lucky. Okay, African Americans are lucky that Cynthia Erivo, okay, rescued the role from Julia Roberts. Okay, and I take it right. Julia Roberts was probably not going to even audition for the movie. They were just going to give it to her. They're just going to hand it over to her, right? With a white privilege. Anyway, so I'll move on. I was told how one studio head said in a meeting, "This script is fantastic. Let's get Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman." See, this is what it is. She wasn't even going to audition for the movie. They were just going to just give it to her. This is what white privilege is, right? They were just going to give her the role for her just being white, right? So, yeah. I was told how one studio head said in a meeting, "This script is fantastic. Let's get Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman," Howard said. When someone pointed out that Roberts couldn't be Harriet, the executive responded, "It was so long ago. No one is going to know the difference." See, they don't care about you. They don't care about you, right? The suggestion, it must be noted, was made in Hollywood landscape that predates the wrath of Twitter threads. Okay, Howard wrote the script for Harriet in 1994, but only managed to get the project off the ground last year. The practice of whitewashing, however, has in one way or another been rife in the film industry for decades and has simply adapted over time. Outright black/brown/yellow in order to keep minority actors off our screens. Mickey Rooney's performance as Mr. Yunioshi in the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's. I mean, you see that was so cringeworthy. I mean, it was very, very appalling. Today, in today's standards, that would be called out. I mean, that would be that would be called out. I mean, it was so degrading. But yeah, we move on. The droves of white actors portraying Puerto Ricans in West Side Story, or as recently as 2007, Angelina Jolie as a French-born Afro-Chinese Cuban Dutch Marianne Pearl in a mighty heart, complete with darkened skin and corkscrew curls, is now considered politically incorrect. But rewriting the race of a character as white in order that a white actor can play them is still considered normal. Take the casting of Emma Stone as a woman of Asian and Hawaiian heritage in Aloha, William May Pother in World Trade Center plane, a character who in real life was black, or Harry Potter produces Transfiguration spell that saw Lavender Brown, a non-speaking black character, magically become white after her role became central. Although increasingly challenged, whitewashing has not been banished entirely. Roberts as Tubman couldn't happen today, but producers ignore these scruples. when dealing with fictional characters in 2010. The white actor Jake Gyllenhaal was cast as Prince of Persia in 2015. Rooney Mara played the Native American princess Tiger Lily, and the year before, Joel Edgerton played Ramses II, and Christian Bale played Moses in Exodus, Gods and Kings. It is particularly galling because Hollywood is hardly brimming with parts for actors of color. So yeah, Hollywood doesn't even have representatives of Black people anyway to play these kind of roles anyway. So yeah, bear that in mind. At least Ridley Scott was honest about Hollywood's positioning on the issue. I can't mount a film on this budget and say that my lead actor is Mohammed so and so from such and such, he said. I'm just not going to get it financed. So basically, the movie was not going to be funded if it was played by some unknown character, basically. So yeah, Hollywood. Imagine Harriet Tubman being played by Julia Roberts. I mean, it's going to draw a lot of white audience, and Hollywood is going to make money. Of course, they're going to make a lot of money. So yeah, it's now about ethics, right? But in capitalism, there's nothing about ethics. Okay, they don't care about you. So Hollywood has changed since 1994. Yet I have no doubt the rooms in which these conversations about castings and financing are taking place are still as whitewashed as ever. Yomi Adigoke is a Guardian columnist. Okay, so boom, that article is done. All right. So yeah, I wonder how you feel about that. All right, I wonder how you feel about that. So Yomi Adegoke is Yoruba Nigerian, right? Okay, all right. An excuse to have a drink there. Yeah. So like I said before, right? Black people, we do not control the narrative. Okay, we do not have the right to our own histories, to put them on the screen. Okay, to attract investment, to attract funding and financing. Okay, we do not have the power to do that. So those who have the power to do that only do what's necessary. Okay, for them, right? So yeah, nobody is here yet. Still, okay. Let me put my email in the chat again, and let's see. I've got 5 people watching. I think I can have 1 or 2 people jump on. Okay. All right. So my email is in the chat. Okay. If you want to hop on, Mr. Niger Boy. Okay. Feel free to jump on. Yeah. So yeah, it is very, very funny. I mean, it's very, very comical for me. Okay. Seeing this news article yesterday, I was just laughing. Okay. I mean, ADOS or African Americans, okay, are just full of noise. They're very, very boisterous, very, very noisy. Okay. They all talk, no action. All right. All talk, no action. Okay. And I'm gonna take you to some articles now. I'm gonna go into African news now. And talk more about what Africans are doing. Okay. If Africans don't agree with one thing, okay, they fight for it. Okay. They fight. Okay. Africans fight. Africans are not afraid to fight. Right? If they want to change, they fight for it. They're not gonna lay down for people to walk over them. So the narrative that the Europeans just went into Africa to take Africans and Africans sold out other Africans, I mean, that's a lie. Okay, the Africans will fight. So I'm gonna go into this article. Okay, and I'm telling you, okay, Christianity has done a lot of damage to Africa. Okay, Christianity has done a lot of damage to Africa, right? And it's all ideology. Okay, because a Muslim believes that when he dies for the cause, when he dies fighting in the name of Allah, he's gonna go into heaven. He's gonna go to Jannah. Okay, and Jannah, is it Jannah? Which one is heaven in Islam? Jannah is Jannah hell? And I forgot my Arabic now. Anyway, so I think Jannah is hell, but I forgot what heaven is in Arabic. Someone remind me. But anyway, they're gonna go to heaven and have 7 virgins. All right, this is what they believe in. This is what Muslims believe in. They believe that a Muslim will not inherit the kingdom of heaven if they do not have scars on them. So I mean, a Muslim is happy to die. Okay, so this is why they do not take the bullshit. They can't take the bullshit. All right, they're ready to fight. But anyway, before I get to that, I'm gonna read a story from GhanaWeb.com. Let me share this. Let me share. So was a Cameroonian teen wins International Peace Prize. Okay. So a Cameroonian teen wins Peace Prize. Okay. So this also yesterday, Thursday, Cameroonian teen wins International Peace Prize. So there she is. Okay. The prize was awarded by Dutch organization Kids' Rights to Divina Maloum. Okay. 15-year-old Cameroonian Divina Maloum has won a Children's International Peace Prize for her work with young people who have suffered extremist violence, particularly in the north of her country. The prize was awarded by Dutch organization Kids' Rights, which says it wants children to be recognized for their efforts to improve their own situation. I mean, this is very sad when children have to improve their own situation. It's very, very sad. Okay, where are the parents? Okay, where are the parents? Environmental activists, Greta Thunberg also won the award alongside Ms. Maloum. In 2014, the Cameroonian teenager founded the Children for Peace movement to work with child victims of terror. She goes to communities to talk to children about her rights, about their rights, and tell them that they do not have to be drawn into violence. Okay. Boko Haram, which is based in Nigeria, has been carrying out attacks over the border in Cameroon since 2014. The group often recruits children, particularly girls, to carry out attacks. A video produced by Kids' Rights shows Ms. Maloum warning young Cameroonians not to get involved. She can be seen displaying a cartoon with the title "I'm not a hero when I carry bombs," which shows a young girl refusing to wear a suicide vest. All right, so this is the image here. I'm not a hero when I carry bombs. Right. So Ms. Maloum has organized an inter-community children's peace camp, established peace clubs in mosques, and together with other children, made a children's declaration against violence extremism. Okay, Kids' Rights says, I mean, these kids have no rights. You know, they're being forced into child, soldiers, turn them into child soldiers. Okay, as we saw in Sierra Leone and Rwanda. Okay, if you've ever seen the movie Blood Diamond in the Congo and stuff like that, child soldiers. Okay, these children have no say. They are at the mercy of these wicked people. Okay, terrorist organizations. And these terrorist organizations are as a result of, especially in Africa, as a result of Western influences in Africa. Just recently in 2010-11, okay, the president of the USA, Mr. Barack Obama, went into Egypt and declared the Arab Spring, okay, inciting violence in North Africa, overthrowing governments in North Africa. Okay, leading to the chaos in Libya, in Egypt, in everywhere, okay, in the north. Now we have Syria. Okay, the US purposefully invaded Iraq, left all the war machines in Iraq, okay, for ISIS to pick up. Okay, ISIS picked up all the war machines the US left behind and used it to try and overthrow Assad. Okay, this was all the plan of the US. Okay. And if it wasn't for Russia, okay, ISIS was going to overrun Syria, right? And then the US is going to establish their own puppet government in there, right? As they're doing to Libya at the moment. Through the UN, they established the puppet governments in Libya. They tried that with Egypt, and the Egyptians didn't want that. Okay, they put in Mohammed Morsi, okay, who was ousted by what's his name? Fatah al-Sisi, General al-Sisi, who's the current president of Egypt. Okay, I mean, everyone is seeing through the the game that the US is playing, so you'd be foolish not to. Right? So this is very, very sad. I feel very, very sad that Africans are being manipulated, but especially by the United States of America. They are not your friends. They're not your friends. The US government is not the friend of Africa. I keep saying it. I see it from here. It's very clear. It's very obvious to see. Anyway, so I mean, these children, I feel very, very sad for them. Okay, every child has a right to grow up to be a full adult and have follow their own destiny and their dreams. But they succumb to all these circumstances in the societies, all these ills in the society, being enacted by foreign powers interfering in African affairs. So yeah, I mean, the same people giving peace awards to these people can hold Western powers and Western government responsible for these kind of things happening. I mean, African countries do not manufacture weapons, but where do these people get the weapons from? And mind you, because ISIS is being defeated in Syria, all these fighters are making their way into Africa. All these fighters from Libya are making their way into the Sahel region. When you see the map of North Africa, Libya just shares borders with Mali. So I'm gonna go into the next article and you see what's happening. But yeah, how one thing leads to another. One thing just leads to another, like a domino effect. All right. So accepting the award in The Hague on Wednesday, she said that to end violence and build peace, we need children, and she dedicated her award to all children who are suffering atrocities due to war. But she fails to point out that these wars in a country are being perpetuated by Western influences. Right? Right. So yeah, if you doubt it, right, study the U.S. foreign policy. Okay, just study it. The U.S. foreign policies. Okay, so she wrapped up her speech saying, "I invite my fellow children around the world to stand up for their rights." Okay, children can never stand up for their rights. Okay. Children can never stand up for their rights because they have no power to do that. You have to call out. What you needed to do when you had the microphone was to call out to the USA, to call out these governments for perpetuating the violence in Africa. Okay, they can literally stop the violence in Africa with a stroke of a pen, but they wouldn't do it. Okay, because they don't like us as African people. They do not like us. Okay, they only like the people that show a bit of shrewdness. If you're a bit shrewd, they'll come for you. They'll brain drain you. Okay, and leave the rest of you to kill yourselves, to depopulate, so they come take over Africa. This is what they want. Anyway, I'll move on. So the next article is on Islamic. It's about let's see. Let me share this one. So there has been trouble brewing in the Sahel region. Okay, a lot of the Islamic attacks in Libya, I mean in West Africa, is due to the destabilizing of Libya, and all these fighters, ISIS fighters, have made their way into Libya. Libya is chaotic at the moment. Okay, there's no real order in Libya. It's ground for for all sort of militia, okay, festering in imploding, in destroying one another, okay, just in search of control of power, okay, and primarily to oust the puppet government installed there by the UN via the US. Okay, so I mean the war there is spilling over into neighboring countries like Mali, and then spilling over into Burkina Faso, and Ghana borders Burkina Faso. So I mean this is very dire for the entire region. And if you know, the French army is in the Sahel, but ask the question, what are they doing in the Sahel? They're not there to protect Africans. Surely they're not. The French army in West Africa is not there to protect African. They're only there to protect French facilities, because the French government or the French people have a lot of mining operations in West Africa, in Burkina Faso, in Mali. They have their own interest there. So that's where they are. They're meant to protect their assets. They're not there to protect Africans. So yeah. Anyway, so this story here is very sad. Okay. Islamic State claims attack that killed 30 Malian soldiers. Okay, this is only a few hours ago, 21 hours ago. So Islamic State West African affiliate claimed responsibility on Wednesday for an attack on an army patrol in northern Mali that killed 30 soldiers, according to a statement published by the site intelligence group. Dozens of other soldiers were wounded in the ambush on Monday in Timbuktu, in Mali's Gao region, the army said. The attack was the third major strike against Malian forces in the last 2 months by jihadist groups. The militants are mounting increasingly sophisticated operations across the Sahel region, a narrow band of scrubland below the Sahara. Okay. Islamic State claimed responsibility for an attack on an army post in early November that killed at least 53 soldiers, while an Al-Qaeda affiliate said it carried out coordinated raids in late September that killed 38 soldiers. All right, so boom, here you're seeing what it is. Okay, Islamic State. Who funded Islamic State? Who funded Islamic State? It's the USA. The USA funded Islamic State. The USA gave birth to Islamic State. If you doubt it, okay, do some research. Okay, they invaded Iraq, okay, in search of weapons of mass destruction. They couldn't find it. Okay, they left all the guns, all the Humvees, all their tanks, all everything. They left it there, and they just left. Okay, ISIS came up, they rose to power, and they took it. They took all the vehicles. It was given to them. It was set up. It was a setup. They took it and they marched their way all the way into Syria, trying to remove Assad. Okay, and they couldn't do it because of Russia. They couldn't do it, and now they're facing their own demise. So they're making their way. A lot of them are running away, and we have some Australians who went off to fight for ISIS, and they're struggling to come back. A lot of them have been killed. Okay, a lot of them have surrendered to the Syrian government, and they'll be facing execution. But then they left a lot of wives, and they fathered a lot of children. Okay, they call them the ISIS brides. So these brides are asking the Australian government to take them in, and the Australian public are saying no, we do not want them. It's their choice. They made the choice to be with the devil. Let them face it. Let them dance to their own tunes. Okay, we do not want them in Australia. All right, we do not want brides of ISIS in Australia. All right, it's their choice. Let them face it. Anyway, so you see the the Islamic State, ISIS or IS, okay, has network all the way into West Africa. So who is to blame? Who is to blame? I blame the US for creating this mess. Okay, it's a quagmire. Anyway, so moving on, a relating article also from africannews.com, okay, point out to that fact. Okay, so Burkina Faso, 18 jihadists. Okay, 18 jihadists, police officer killed during attack. So 18 jihadists were killed and one police officer died. But they knew of this attack was coming. Okay, because they see what's happening in Mali. So if you can see my screen, okay, this is West Africa. Okay, this is Ghana. This is Ivory Coast. This is Togo, Benin, and this is Nigeria. Nigeria is right here. Okay, Nigeria. This is Niger. Okay, this is Mali. And when you go north a bit, okay, you go a little bit north. Okay, you get to Libya. Algeria is here. Morocco is there, and Mauritania is there. Chad is here. Okay, all the here is just in the same vicinity, right? Right. So have that in context, okay, when you hear this kind of news. Okay, so it's very easy for ISIS fighters to come from Libya into West Africa, okay, and destabilize the region. Okay, so 18 jihadists and a police officer were killed during a response to an attack in northern Burkina on Wednesday. A statement from the police headquarters said the attack was targeted at the police squadron based in Arbinda in the Sum province. It said the statement added that a prompt response from the police led to the death of a terrorist police officer. So yeah, they had intelligence that it's coming. Okay, 7 of the officers were injured, with 2 seriously injured receiving treatment in the capital Ouagadougou. Earlier this month, an attack on a convoy by a Canadian mining firm, Simafo, killed 38 people. So I mean, this is what I'm saying. Okay, these people here, they go in there to mine gold and whatever, or precious minerals from West Africa, and they have no interest in building the infrastructure. Half the trouble happening, okay, is lack of infrastructure. Okay, they go in, mine all these oil, okay, make millions and billions of dollars at the expense of these Africans, and they do not want it. That's why they fight you. Okay. At least you should know that Africans can fight. Africans can fight, family, but African Americans only talk. They can't fight. They can fight for shit. Oh yeah, they can fight. African Americans can fight. They can fight to be part of the American society. That's what they fight for. ADOS. They fight to sit at the table with the white man. That's all they fight for, and they fight against Africans, their own flesh and blood, people that look exactly like them. They fight them. Okay, you have the Captain American Negroes joining the U.S. Army, coming to fuck up African countries. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Where were African Americans when Hillary Clinton was making plans to invade Libya? Where were African Americans? They sat idle and watched it happen. They didn't care. So Burkina Faso has been the scene of regular jihadist attacks since the first quarter of 2015. So 2015 was the peak of the Libyan civil war as well, and also the war in Syria and stuff like that. So that was when Assad's army started taking power away from the ISIS. So I mean, all the ISIS fighters were making their way into Africa, into Africa through Libya, and making their way into the Sahel region. All right. So yeah. So all these stories about even the little girl winning the peace prize, okay, is is indicative of what's happening with ISIS as they're losing ground in Northeast Africa or so-called Middle East. They're gonna find haven in the Sahel, okay, which is a predominant Muslim settlement, okay, and these people can easily be radicalized. All right. So I mean, this is what it is. Okay. What was the word? Going back to my first article about Harriet Tubman, okay, being the most preferred, okay, the most preferred actress for the role of Harriet Tubman. I mean, uh, it's very, what's the word, ignoble. Okay, it's very ignoble. Um, it's a dishonor. Okay, well, not that they really care; they only care about their money, but it is ignoble, okay, or dishonor for black people to hate on another black person for playing the role of a black person. I mean, it's very sad the situation that we have as a people. Okay, the self-hate is just so crazy. We are so divided. That's why we're so easily conquered, and that's why we see these things happening to us as people of African descent. And not until we change that and embrace unity and love one another, okay, all these things are gonna keep happening. All right, so I do have another final article that I wanted to share. It's about Zimbabwe, and it's very sad that African countries are not coming together. Okay, I would wish that African countries would come together to the aid of Zimbabwe. Yes, they did. Zimbabwe went bankrupt, and the African Development Bank came to bail them out, about 600 and something billion dollars. I think I covered that a few months ago. And the new president of Zimbabwe, Emerson Mnangagwa, uh, decided that what is really wrong with Zimbabwe is the sanctions placed on Zimbabwe by uh, former comrade Robert Mugabe. Okay, so Mugabe, by his famous words, okay, Black, keep your Britain. Mugabe, I keep my Zimbabwe. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, that in its sense is black power. But what had happened was because Africans at the time they did not know what time it was. They did not understand, the essence of unity. Okay, so they left Zimbabwe to be isolated and everything ran to the ground. But saying that, right, African heads of state have themselves to blame as well for wanting to be in power for way too long. Okay, way too long. They wanted to stay in power for way too long. Robert Mugabe was in power for nearly 40 years, I think 38 years. Okay, he wanted to be president till the day he died. And that's a shame, very big shame. There's no real democracy at all. So yeah, there was a coup d'etat last year. Okay, and Emerson Mnangagwa became president of Zimbabwe, and he is on a mission to avert the situation of Zimbabwe and bring Zimbabwe back to become a global player. So basically, he wants to undo everything, that uh, every policy that Robert Mugabe put in place, especially the expropriation of land without compensation. Okay, which Julius Malema wanted to model after and take land from white owners and give them back to the rightful African owners. Okay, so Zimbabwe was successful in doing that. We know that the war in Zimbabwe, which was led by Mugabe's ZANU PF, okay, was funded by China. Okay, China and Russia funded that war, gave military, training to ZANU PF. So which Emerson Mnangagwa himself was a general in ZANU PF. Okay, he was actually the right hand man of Robert Mugabe. So I mean, he going back to revert everything that Robert Mugabe did. Okay, seems like a big sellout. Okay, he's bowing down to the white powers now. Okay, going back to his white masters. Okay, for a handout. Okay, and these people they place sanctions on Zimbabwe. Okay, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Okay, you don't play the devil. Okay, you don't bank with the devil and expect to win. You're not gonna win. So this is what it is. Okay, the West is such an antagonistic, you know, partner to Africa. There is no real relationship there. Okay, the only relationship you see there is one is the master and one is the slave. That's what it is. That's all you see. So I mean, I'm gonna read that article about Minangagwa, but he's traveling around looking for partners, people to do business with him. But as it is, Zimbabwe is in debt. Okay, Zimbabwe is in debt to China about 2 point something billion dollars, and Zimbabwe has defaulted in so many loan repayments. Okay, so by international law, no country is allowed to lend money to Zimbabwe. No country is allowed to lend money to Zimbabwe because they've defaulted their loans. It's like you want to borrow money from the bank. They look at your credit history. If you've defaulted, they're not going to give you any loans. So it is what it is. Okay, but I'm urging all African countries to help out with Zimbabwe. This is why we need integration, regional integration, and African unity, so we can help one another. But yeah, anyway, I'll read this final one, and then I'll have a look. And anyone who is interested, my email address is in the chat. Okay, you can hop on and we can have a conversation. All right, all right. Let's see here. Let me share this. Okay, let me share this. So yeah, I've seen new people have come in. Okay, welcome to the stream. I am Chidrana. If you're new, please subscribe, like the stream. Okay, thumbs up this stream, like it. Okay, and help the channel grow. Okay, so the European Union. Let me share this. Okay, so EU assesses Zimbabwe's economic political reforms. Mr. Najaboy, thank you. You're still here. I appreciate you, family. You're learning. You're learning. I appreciate you. Because you and I are always going to go back and forth. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So we're learning, right? The European Union (EU) on Thursday emphasized the need for national dialogue to resolve what it sees as an increasingly deteriorating democratic space in Zimbabwe. In a joint statement issued after a meeting with Zimbabwean minister, the EU reiterated its commitment to support political and economic reforms, including the fight against corruption. And the article will be in the description box. You can go check it out. Check out the joint press statement. So so the EU Zimbabwe political dialogue was co-chaired by the Foreign Affairs and International Trade and Minister of so and so and so. So you can go check it out. Right, it's a tweet. So earlier, an EU memo prepared for its diplomats ahead of talks in Harare on Thursday said the arrests and abductions of several political activists had reinforced the impression that the democratic space is being curtained again. The memo seen by Reuters also said the EU was worried by Harare's slow pace of political reforms, including the alignment of laws to the constitution that was adopted in 2013. So Robert Mugabe was there. He skewed the constitution to his own benefit, okay, to keep him in power and stuff like that. So these European unions are urging Emerson Mnangagwa to reform, okay, to take drastic reforms to revert, okay, or revert everything that Mugabe has stands for, basically. So give land back to white farmers, okay, compensate them, and he did compensate them for about some $24 million last year when he did the coup d'etat. Anyway, so the EU withdrew budget support to Zimbabwe in 2002 when it imposed sanctions on the late Robert Mugabe's government over charges of political violence, human rights abuses, vote rigging, and violent seizures of white-owned farms. So, I mean, Mugabe can do all that. He can abuse his citizens. He can vote rig, he can do any of these things. But the moment he sees white-owned farms, they're coming for you. Okay, and Donald Trump said that he's willing to take off the sanctions on Zimbabwe if the farms are returned back to white farmers. Okay, but I mean, Emerson Mnangagwa compensated these farmers last year, but that's still not enough. They want their land. Wally Maya, welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you in a long time, family. You're so involved with Trudy, Miss Trudy. Okay, this is what love does to you, huh? All right, well, we're still bros, bro. So I saw your missed call. You tried to call me about 3:50 something a.m., bro. I was snoozing, bro. I was sleeping. So currently it's 7:43 p.m. Friday. So this is where we're at, family. So it's the weekend here. So after this, I'll give you a call, bro. I'll give you a call. All right. So yeah, peace. I just shared your live. Thank you, bro. Salute. I appreciate it. So yeah. So going back to this article. Are you happy to jump on? Are you happy to jump on? Send me an email, okay? Chivrano@hotmail.com, okay? Send me an email and we can chop it up, okay? It's only a short article. I'll finish reading it soon, and then we can move on. So yeah, where was I? So Zimbabwe EU relations. So the EU withdrew budget support to Zimbabwe in 2002 when it imposed sanctions on the late Robert Mugabe's government over charges of political violence, human rights abuses, vote rigging, and violent seizures of white-owned farms. And I said again, okay, if you're an African president, you can do all these things, okay? But the moment you take land from white-owned farmers, they're coming for you, right? They're coming for you. So what's his name? Muammar Gaddafi could abuse his own citizens for all he cares, okay? But the moment he does something against, the interest of the United States and France, they will come for you, right? They will come for you. So the talks this week are seen as important steps towards the EU resuming direct financial aid for the economy, okay, which is in the grip of its worst crisis in a decade and worsened by severe drought. Timo Olkonen, the EU's ambassador to Harare, told acting Foreign Affairs Minister July Moyo and his team at the start of the talks that reforms and inclusive political dialogue would also help with Zimbabwe's economic recovery. So, I mean, it's very, very sad when you have this person here, Timo Olkonen, EU's ambassador in Harare, in the midst of everything that's going on. How can you possibly live there? Okay, I know for once, I saw a news article from in Ghana, the ambassador from Denmark has its headquarters right next to a very choked waterways in Accra, and when it rained, it flooded. It flooded. His office was flooded. I mean, it's a shame. These people are only there for natural resources. They're not there to help you. Okay. The ambassador from Denmark just resides right next to a sewage disposal or a waterway being choked by sewage, and has no common sense that I'm going to actually invite investment and funds to clean up the city. They don't care about these kind of things. They don't care. So they're not going to do it unless they push their own agenda. And this is what we're seeing here. Anyway, these reforms can pave the way for, I mean, what am I? You can attest to that, can't you? You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. You've been to Accra several times. You've seen all these ambassadors living in the midst of filth. Right. So these reforms can pave the way for a further strengthened relationship between Zimbabwe and the EU based on shared values. the respect of human rights and sustainable development goals agenda, O'Connor said, flanked by several EU diplomats. Sorry, how long have they been talking about this sustainable development? I think they've been talking about it since before we were born. What am I? Before we were born, they've been talking about this, but they never did anything. They never did anything. So Moyo said the talks would deal with all hard issues and were supported by President Emerson Mnangagwa, who last month described EU and US sanctions on Zimbabwe as cancer sapping the economy. Okay, with the economy afflicted by dollar shortages, fuel queues, power cuts, and soaring prices, Mnangagwa has said restoring ties with the West and multilateral lenders like International Monetary Fund is one of his major priorities. Shouldn't your major priorities be, joining arms with African countries? Your neighboring country, South Africa. Okay. You can join arms with South Africa, merge with South Africa, merge with South Africa, merge with Botswana, merge with Zambia, merge with Uganda. Why can't you do that? Why are you reaching out to your colonizers? How are they going to help you? They're not going to help you. They do not have your interests at heart. Anyway, but like Mugabe, he blames sanctions for the country's economic ills and says they are designed to remove the ruling ZANU-PF party from power. Critics also say that since Mnangagwa came to power, he has cracked down on opposition parties. So this week, Zimbabwean police used batons, tear gas, and water cannon to beat up and disperse supporters of their main opposition party, trying to listen to a speech by their leader. Okay. EU notes progress. Okay. In its memo, the EU noted Zimbabwe had made progress by deciding not to enforce its empowerment law, which would have required all foreign investors to cede at least 51% of their shares in local operations to Zimbabweans. So this is what Robert Mugabe put in place. If you want to invest in Zimbabwe, you need to cede 50% of your revenue, okay, of all the entire revenue, of all the entire earnings or outcome, okay, of your investment needs to go to Zimbabweans. And Muammar Gaddafi had that 100%, okay, of all the revenues from Libya's natural resources go directly to the Libyan citizens. What more do you want as a people? But you fell for Western propaganda. You fell for the Western bait. Okay, hook, line, and sinker. Swallowed it all and threw your country into chaos. Ghana did the same thing with Nkrumah. Anyway, moving on. The memo also said the interim compensation of white farmers whose land was seized by the government was a positive gesture towards reopening export markets in European Union. So I'm telling you, this is what it is. It's got to do with the white farmers. Okay, it is the white farmers, the land that was taken from white farmers that led to the sanctions. So the compensation back to the white farmers is going to open the market back to the European Union. It's white supremacy at all levels. Okay, white supremacy. So, in a budget statement last week, Finance Minister Ntuli Nkube set aside 24 million to compensate white farmers, 768 of whom had consented to the interim compensation scheme. So, I mean, this is what it is. So, I mean, if you want to invite Europeans into your country, okay, start compensating white people. Okay, start compensating white people. So, I mean, this is very, very sad. Okay, this is very, very sad. But we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, Emerson Mnangagwa. Okay, at this point, okay, he's playing the biggest puppet. Okay, in Africa right now, Emerson Mnangagwa. Okay, the second biggest puppet is Cyril Ramaphosa. Okay, right, Cyril Ramaphosa. Okay, they've been reduced to CCs. They know black power at all. Very sad. Very, very sad. Anyway, so I have finished. Okay, I have finished my articles. The floor is still open. Okay. chiefjohn@hotmail.com. Okay. Join me. Okay. Join me. Thank you again for sharing the stream. What admire. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, nobody's here. Nobody's here. Nobody's interested in jumping on. That's a shame. That's a shame. Okay. I'm not here to talk all about myself, family. I'm here to interact. Okay. This is what social media is for. All right. So don't be shy. Okay. Don't be shy. Come on, talk about whatever you feel like talking about. All right. All information is good information. All right. All information is good information. What do you want to talk about? Panther Assad, do you want to talk about the Harriet Tubman situation? I would love you to jump on and talk about the Harriet Tubman situation, family. Okay. It's very, very comical for me. Mr. Naja Boy, do you want to talk about it? I find it very, very funny. I find it very, very ridiculous. So if you want to jump on and talk to me about it, okay, the Harriet Tubman situation, it's very, very foolish. Okay, it's very, very, very foolish. It makes black people look very, very silly. All right, very silly. We're fighting amongst ourselves. What? And behind the scene, white people are planning to replace us. We're fighting amongst ourselves. But behind the scene, okay, white people are planning to replace us. Where are we going? Sun Temple, thanks for your comment. Black African people need to get the puppets out of the government, and they need to all work together. Every African country against any racist white European country that is stealing from Africa. Exactly, exactly. Okay, this is what we need to. First of all, we need to be educated as a people. We need to be educated as a people first with political science. We need to be very, very educated on how politics works, okay, and how Europe relates with Africa. Okay, the United States' only interest in Africa is for resources. That's it. That's why they basically this whole Trump administration, they've basically just left Africa alone because they have no real interest in Africa. They have no real interest. Okay, but they'll continue to fund education in Africa. They'll continue to fund healthcare. Okay, when you talk about your Ebola vaccine, your malaria vaccine, they're all manufactured in the United States. Okay, the United States doesn't even do much trade with Africa. Africa's biggest trading partner currently is China. It's China. So I mean, the United States has drone facilities in Niger, in the desert. There's a drone airport in Niger. They have no real interest, no interest for development whatsoever. Okay, they fund healthcare and education. Okay, so they give you good health and they give you good education, and guess where you end up? You end up having your passport, making your way to the United States, working for the economy and boosting the economy of the United States, and not your country in Nigeria or Ghana or wherever. Okay, this is what it is, the brain drain. So I mean, these puppet governments need to be ousted. Okay, they need to be ousted, and Africa needs to work within themselves. Okay, we are still waiting for the Africa free trade, continental free trade area coming. Okay, which is an era, by the way, by the year 2020, January 2020. The eco currency is going to be rolled out, Ghana and Nigeria, between Ghana and Nigeria, and subsequently the CFA franc is going to be deserted, okay, made redundant in Africa, and every West African country is going to side with the eco currency. So it's going to be very big for the ECOWAS community. So yeah, this is it. You have to re-strategize. You have to strategize your way to overcome white supremacy. Okay, you don't play their games. Don't play their games. Do your own thing, and don't involve them. Because the moment you involve them, you'll be defeated. All right. So yeah, I'll have a look at my email again. Okay. I'm getting a lot of traffic coming in, but you know, you know what it is. Okay. Subscribe to the channel. I am Chudrano. If you're new, okay, help us grow. Uh, we need 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Okay, because summer is a beautiful time of year in Australia, and I'd love to bring you live events. I recently missed the Jamaican festival because I cannot do my live streaming. But yeah, it is really epic to give you live coverage, you know, um, from events happening in Australia. So yeah, Sun Temple, do you want to hop on? Do you want to hop on? Send me an email. All right. So it's Friday. I am going to relax, kick back. Okay, watch some Netflix. All right. So yeah, nobody's interested in hopping on. I am going to sign out. What am I? Do you want to hop? Do you want to hop on? What am I? Come on, dude. Africa's ambassador. All right, come on, family. Come on. Africa's ambassador, come on. I'm waiting for you, Wademaya. Sun Temple, you left a comment. Yes, they are planning to replace black people and they want us to be comfortable with it and help them to do it for them. Exactly. To be successful, they need a large body of black people to help them out. And that's what they're doing, family. That's what they're doing. Okay. Black people are helping white supremacy. Okay. Because if we, you know, with the xenophobia and all that happening with whoever perpetuated those fake images, okay, the fake news of some building burning in India, somewhere in India, and they imposed it onto the event happening in South Africa and claiming that it's xenophobia in South Africa. I mean, these people are well calculated. They're planning. They're planning. And if Africans are not educated to see through this ploy, okay, you have yourselves to blame. Okay, you will be replaced. Okay, you will be annihilated. You will go extinct as a people. Okay, you will go extinct. So yeah. So again, 5 more minutes. I'm gonna go over the article again, the Harriet Tubman article. Yeah. So 5 more minutes. Hotmail.com. Boom. Okay. Send me an email. Okay, if you want to hop on, if you want to talk to Chudrana, do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna log off. This article from the Guardian. Okay, Guardian.com. Okay, stated that we escaped Julia Roberts playing Harriet Tubman, but whitewashing lives on. The title should be "We escaped Harriet Tubman playing." We escaped Julia Roberts playing Harriet Tubman, whilst black people are busy fighting one another. That should have been the title. Okay. Whilst ADOS is busy with anti-African rhetoric, we escaped Julia Roberts playing Harriet Tubman. Okay, and these people owe you nothing. They owe you nothing, family. They owe you nothing. They own Hollywood. They own Hollywood. They can cast their own actors, whichever way they see fit. And you are mad because another black person is playing Harriet Tubman. You it's gone over your head. You're crazy. You've lost it so much that you want to boycott the movie. Hashtag not my Harriet. I mean, this is foolishness. Okay, this alone has made me lose respect for so many black people. The moment I see another black person attacking another black person, you've lost my respect. I do not respect you. I do not. I wish you go extinct. Okay, this is how I feel. I wish you go extinct. Okay, when you start doing that, and it's all by design. It's all by design, and you fall for it. You fall for the ploy. They set the stage for you to kill one another. Okay, and they will replace you. They will replace you. By 2053, the black wealth in the USA is meant to be 0%. $0. There will be no black wealth at all in the United States. Okay. Latinos are going to outpopulate black people. And black people are going to be pushed further down the totem pole. Okay. And if you do not have an African plan, you'll be lost in the soup. All right. You'll be lost in the soup. You will be replaced. So yeah. I mean, listen to the audacity, okay? Listen to the audacity. It's a headline that reads as if it were from a Saturday Night Live skit. Okay, Julia Roberts was once the favorite. Okay, was once the favorite to play the legendary African American 19th century abolitionist Harriet Tubman. The favorite. Okay, this is the director, the screenwriter. Okay. And he's talking about, listen to what he says again. I was told how one studio head said in a meeting, this script is fantastic. Let's get Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman. Let's get her to play Harriet Tubman. She doesn't even need to audition. This is white privilege. Again. Okay, again. I'm repeating myself. This is white privilege. They do not need to audition. They do not need to even go to school. Just the color of the skin alone gives them a pass. So Howard said when someone pointed out that Roberts couldn't play Harriet, the executive responded, "It was so long ago, no one is going to know the difference." So they don't even care about your history. They do not even care about your history. It's so long ago. Get over it. That's what they tell you. Anyway, because we do not control our own narratives. We do not control our narratives because we're conquered people. Not until we rise to power and control our own narrative. I mean, they're gonna just look down on us. And someone mentioned Nollywood, but Nollywood will be ready to sell out if someone is ready to buy it. They will sell out very quick. And we saw that TV station, rock station, sold out to the French TV station, Canal France. Only a few months ago, 4 months ago, I think. Anyway, so it's foolishness. Okay, not until you unite as a people, okay, you're gonna die out. Okay, as African people, you're gonna die out. But I have hope. I have hope that we will unite as a people. Okay, and we will move on. All right, family. Until next time. Okay, peace out. Chief signing out. Sun Temple. But I am confident once enough black people in America, Europe and Africa start working together to organize the consciousness of Africa. It will work, but white will try to stop this. Yeah, but in unity, okay, we can do all things. All right, family. Until next time, okay, I appreciate everyone coming on. Okay, until next time, okay, peace. Okay, one love to all. Okay, in unity we stand, divided we fall. Okay, Pan-Africanism is the future of Africa. Okay, if you doubt this, go read the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. Okay, support one another and build yourselves as a people. Okay, until next time. Okay. Subscribe if you're new, okay, and support your journal. All right, until next time, family. Peace out. Have a good weekend. Love one another. Okay, peace. Peace, family. Peace.